Jesus explains the meaning of suffering, why I allow them, and how I use them. April 18th, 2016. Words from Jesus to Sister Clare, spoken by Jackie. The sweet peace of Jesus be with you all, Heartdwellers. I have been struggling with doubts and discernment lately. You might say, what's new about that? Well, it has been much more intense and the Lord has been distant. This is by far the most painful of trials, and I know some of you are suffering the very same things. Thank God for Ezekiel, who recognized my state, and for my prayer warriors, and all of you who have held me up in this trial of dryness. So when I came into prayer today, I was in worship for several hours. I finally just had to seek a word from the Lord and hear His voice. So I said, Lord, please don't leave me without anything to share. Lord, please have mercy on my soul. Jesus answered, do you know how much good I'm doing with this sacrifice? I can only imagine. Much good, very much good. Right now, there are people on your channel that did not know me or my voice, and now they know both. And they know that I'm with them and I will never forsake them. I would say that is very much good, wouldn't you? Yes, Jesus, He lifted my chin. Claire, I know how much this hurts you, as it hurts me, but all my saints had to pass through this gate of unknowing and sheer faith, that I might shower their graces on the weak and lonely. See, right now, you know I'm talking with you. Doesn't that give you some measure of comfort, my love? Our eyes met, and his were twinkling with compassion. And below us, I see a demon looking very much like a filthy crocodile, with his eyes on me and snarling. Yes, that is a demon of false accusation and condemnation, standing by and waiting to attack you and take you under, roll you in his mire, and stick you under a ledge until you're good and rotten. This is what he does. Look for souls that are either under correction or being sacrificed for the sake of others, as you are now. Yes, he waits for the right opportunity and then strikes, leaving the bitter poison of isolation and condemnation. But you have been this way many times before, and you know how to handle him, don't you? Yes, Lord. Ignore his slimy lies, renounce him, and actively trust that you are using this trial for the kingdom. That's always what I end up doing. Very good. That's exactly the answer I was hoping you would give me. So I could tell my brides that you too will be tested in this manner. Do not suppose for one moment that I have abandoned you, because I have not, and I will not. You are dying to yourself and giving life to others, like the seed that falls to the ground. The consolations meant for you as you reach out and seek me in worship, and you long for me, those consolations are being passed on to the truly desperate and needy. In this moment in the world, there are many such as these. There are those who are breathing their last breath under the rubble of earthquakes. They have never known me, but I am visiting them, because of your offerings and your prayers. You see, when you entrust me with all that is yours, your everything, I dispense grace and mercy where I will, but so much is handed over to me in the gift of your life. You have said, Jesus, anything for you, and I have said, I will have you with me in paradise someday, but for now I need your sacrifices, I need your consolations, I need your physical infirmities, yes, even those. They are your cross, your Simon's cross. You say to me, but you did save us once and for all, and you speak the truth. But now someone must pray that this gift of salvation is delivered to the poorest of poor, the dying, the lame, the sick, the drug addict, the victims of tragedy, all who are languishing without knowing me and without any hope. True, I have visited some of them many times in their lives before, but they were not ready. Now they are ready, and those who have yet to know me because of your offerings are now coming to know me and discovering the love and joy of their lives. With that discovery, they are happy to die to be with me, and another soul is snatched from Satan. So this is not a punishment as you imagined. You should know better, my Clare. We have been down this road before, many, many times, but I know your frame, I know your forgetfulness, and I know those who visit here are hungry for truth. Yes, they long to know the meaning of suffering in their lives. They are under the impression that I am a punishing and vindictive God, when we know that all suffering is from Satan, not me. But what he meant for evil I turned to good, and I despoiled him of yet another soul. All of you, dear dwellers in my heart, you know now that everything you experience I turn to good. Nothing, absolutely nothing escapes my notice. And how many times do I in fact hang on that cross of suffering with you? How many tears do I shed when you go through all these things and offer them to me with a grateful heart? Millions of times a day I'm garnering gifts of love from my people to be shed upon the hearts of those who do not know me. Despite this sense of absence, know that I'm always with you, always comforting you and seeing to your needs, admonishing and dispensing graces to you. Yes, especially the graces to endure this dark world without the sweet touch of my consolations, that I might shower them on the desperate with no hope. So you see, my beloved, that crocodile continues to hiss at you and whisper his foul breath. You're no good, you're a failure, your God has rejected you. He has withdrawn and deserted you and left you sweltering in your own mess. Oh, how far from the truth! You were going along so well, flourishing even, and I asked for a sacrifice, and your spirit gave consent. And here we are now, talking about it, because all of you need to be reminded of this dynamic, especially in this hour when sufferings are intensifying. I cut in and said, a lot of people have been posting fear that they have been abandoned. It simply is not true that I've abandoned them, when in actuality I have graciously accepted their loving sacrifice and showered those consolations on the ones who are perishing. How perfect is that? So I ask you all, are you in this moment suffering? Have you lost a loved one? Have you been misunderstood and lied about? Have you been beaten and left for dead? Have you loved and labored and poured out your gifts on others and been denounced? These are all thorns in my crown, my brides. It is being woven into the perfect headpiece for the one who resembles me, my true bride. All these evils have been allowed you to prove your love, your forgiveness, and draw those detractors closer to me. You have only to see how they treated me, though I did nothing wrong, to understand why you are receiving insult and injury for the good that you're doing. How many times have I said it, the bride must resemble the groom? Indeed, you do resemble me in all these sufferings, but understand there is a purpose for it all. I waste nothing of my bride's loving gifts. I use them all, and someday you will meet the fruits of your sufferings on this earth, and there shall be great rejoicing in heaven. In the meantime, we are moving closer to the time when the clock will strike midnight, and it shall be accomplished. So please, let the sweetness of this message wash over you and remove the sting of suffering, alienation, and hopelessness you have felt in the past. You have done a great work for me in bearing up under trial and continuing to worship and hope in me. I bless you now with a vision of heaven in my arms. You are my joy.